By now you're probably very well aware that we've been going through a lot of the insane rumors and ideas that are coming out through different sources about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And today is no exception, as we will be covering the ideas, the rumors, and the thoughts of Ghost Rider in his various different forms, joining the cast of the MCU in Doctor Strange 2. If you haven't had an opportunity to check out the first 3 videos, they'll be linked in the top right corner and you can give them a watch as well, all of which are covering very promising rumors and theories for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Check them out in the top right. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Cosmic Culture, the channel where we talk about all major movie and television news, theories, breakdowns, and much, much more. I'm your host, Chris, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these crazy and insane Doctor Strange theories, as well as updates and information for other big major franchises, TV shows, and movies. So, when we talk about Ghost Rider joining the MCU, there are a few separate schools of thought. One, will there be a permanent MCU addition, or is this simply going to be a cameo? Let's start off talking about the possibility of getting a cameo, and what this might mean in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. For starters, in the cameo realm, we have a few options: a returning character or a new character that may stick around later on in the MCU. But let's talk first about the returning characters. You have Nicolas Cage or Gabriel Luna, who were both very, very well known and I would argue to say well liked Ghost Riders, either of which would be a fantastic return and an awesome cameo. In 2007, we got the Ghost Rider standalone movie, which was starred by Nicolas Cage playing Johnny Blaze. Now, although Nicolas Cage seems like kind of an odd choice for Ghost Rider, I think in the film he does a pretty decent job at representing that character, and since he really is kind of a throwback classic at this point for that role, it would be a blast to have him return for a short cameo or to have some type of role in the Multiverse of Madness. I don't, however, think we would be seeing Nicolas Cage for an extended period of time other than in the Multiverse of Madness. Even if he had a little bit more of an important role or some type of fighting sequence in Multiverse of Madness, he isn't going to be the MCU's Ghost Rider when and if those days come. The other returning option, like I mentioned, is Gabriel Luna, who played Ghost Rider under the role of Robbie Reyes in The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was an ABC action series that Kevin Feige has stressed several times is not canon to the MCU. It was a weird situation where the MCU affected the series, but the series had zero effect on the MCU whatsoever. Now, Kevin Feige has pretty aggressively stated that the canon of the MCU isn't going to be affected by Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It doesn't seem like Coulson or any of the characters coming from Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. are at all ever seen in the MCU or that they're going to be down the line. And I'm kind of curious whether or not that's going to stick, because the same man, Kevin Feige, said Daredevil and all of the Netflix series were outside of the MCU, and now we have Daredevil back in the MCU and Kingpin in the MCU. So there's definitely a flexibility and an opportunity there, especially with the multiverse being explored, where they could open the timeline where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually happened, and they could quickly leave that as well. So Gabriel Luna cannot be taken off the table, nor can his character Robbie Reyes and Ghost Rider. But again, because I still think Kevin Feige is standing very strongly that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not a part of the MCU, I think for that reason they're not going to include Gabriel Luna's Ghost Rider, which is a shame, because I actually felt like he was a fantastic Ghost Rider. He played the character very, very well. Which leads us to another third option, a new Ghost Rider. A Ghost Rider that hasn't been ever in the MCU, hasn't ever been in any Marvel project, and therefore could also show up later on, and it would be a whole new storyline for them to cover. This for me makes the most sense, although it can be a little bit tricky and difficult introducing so many new characters in one movie, and Multiverse of Madness definitely has the struggle of introducing a ton of characters, whether they're cameos, alternate versions and variants of old characters that we already know in different storylines and different universes. Regardless, the introduction of this many new characters or bringing back old characters can get very, very overwhelming and almost too complicated and too insane. Again, if this wasn't something that was heavily reported, often rumored, I wouldn't even be sitting here trying to theorize whether or not we would see Ghost Rider. On the top of my head, I would be like, yeah, no, there's too much going on. You already have the Illuminati, you have Wanda going full Wanda mode, there's these rumors of alternate Iron Mans, alternate Captain Americas, alternate of all of the Avengers teaming up to create the alternate Avengers who are going to fight demons, and it's a crazy, crazy world of rumors and insider info about this film. However, there seem to be some pretty confident people out there that Ghost Rider is going to be, in some sense, a part of Multiverse of Madness. Which is why I feel like if we do see him, it will either be Nicolas Cage's returning for a moment to complete his part, and then the other option would be bringing in someone new. Out of all of the rumors of who could be playing Ghost Rider, you know, a lot of people off the top of their head would say, well, Keanu Reeves would be perfect. But the most likely, based off of what I've heard, seems to be Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead. Now, he does have the perfect look for Ghost Rider. He is a little bit older, so I don't know if he'd be doing, 10 years in the MCU, but we also don't know what Marvel's trying to get out of the Ghost Rider types. Now, I say Ghost Rider types because I think there is a category: Blade, Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, the monster hunters and monsters of the MCU, the Midnight Suns who fight demons, and different type of darker, mythical creature type things. That's a whole side of the MCU, and with Moon Knight coming out around the corner, Blade being created, Dane Whitman being involved with Blade, and heavy rumors of Ghost Rider, it's hard to not assume that the Midnight Suns are somewhere around the corner as well. So introducing a new actor like Norman Reedus into the fold and allowing him to play Johnny Blaze and to fit into that Midnight Suns, Monster Hunters, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, dark theme of the MCU kind of idea makes decent enough sense for me. If I got to choose between bringing Nicolas Cage in for a cameo or starting to lay the groundwork for an enormous Reedus type, a new actor who's going to play Ghost Rider, I'd personally probably be alright skipping the Nicolas Cage cameo. The movie's fun, and cameos are always fun, but it sounds like we're going to be getting enough of them in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So, a new appearance, a new understanding of Ghost Rider, even if he comes from a different universe and establishes that Ghost Rider exists, and that we'll be seeing him later down the road in the MCU to team up with the Midnight Suns or whatever it be, that would be super, super awesome. Now, keep in mind, these are rumors. This isn't all just made up by me. This is stuff that is currently being spread around the internet, and Ghost Rider is a name that frequently is coming up in all of these ideas of what it is we should be expecting to see. But let me know what you guys think. For starters, are you hoping to see Ghost Rider appear in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? And if so, who do you want to see? Someone new? Nicolas Cage? Gabriel Luna? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thank you to everybody who watches till the very end of the video. If you found it helpful, useful, or interesting, consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our other Doctor Strange updates and other general movie and television news updates happening right here on Cosmic Culture.